Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the English Everyday Podcast, where we help you improve your English skills in a fun, natural, and engaging way. I'm your host, Dave, and joining me today, as always, our amazing co-host, Sophia.
Hi, everyone. We're so happy to have you here. If you're looking for something to make learning English easier and more enjoyable, you're in the right place.
And today we're talking about something that makes life more exciting and meaningful: hobbies. Whether you're an artist, an adventurer, or just someone looking for a fun way to spend your free time, this episode is for you.
Plus, we've created a free PDF that includes all the vocabulary and tips from today's episode. It's a great way to review what you learn. You can grab it in the description.
Don't forget, Marco will join us later to explain the most important words and phrases we use today. Trust me, you'll want to stick around to the end so you can walk away not only entertained, but also one step closer to your English journey goal: fluency.
Absolutely. And who knows, by the end of this episode, you might discover a new hobby or a new way to talk about yours in English. Okay, let's jump right in.
Okay, Sophia, let's start with the big question. What's your favorite hobby?
Oh, that's a tough one because I have so many. But if I had to choose just one, it would definitely be reading. I'm a total bookworm.
Oh, I like that word. A bookworm? That's such a great way to describe someone who loves reading. So what kind of books do you enjoy?
I love fiction, especially fantasy and mystery. When I'm reading, it feels like I'm traveling to another world or solving a puzzle, all without leaving my chair.
I love that. Reading really is like an adventure, and I think it's such a relaxing hobby too. But for me, I've recently gotten into gardening. There's something so satisfying about planting seeds and watching them grow.
Gardening sounds so peaceful, Dave. But I have to admit, I've tried it before, and I think I have a black thumb. My plants never survive for more than a week.
Well, that's totally fine, Sophia. A black thumb just means you need a little more practice. It took me a while to figure out what works too. And listeners, what about you? Are you more like Sophia the bookworm, or like me, the gardener?
That's a great question. And you know what? Hobbies are so personal. They tell us a lot about who we are. For example, Marco, our vocabulary expert, has a hobby that I think everyone can appreciate: cooking.
Oh, cooking is such a fantastic hobby. It's creative, practical, and who doesn't love good food? What about you, listeners? Do you enjoy cooking? Or maybe you prefer hobbies where you can create something, like painting or knitting.
Or are you more into active hobbies like sports, hiking, or even dancing? I think there are hobbies for everyone, whether you're an introvert who loves quiet activities or an extrovert who thrives on group activities.
That's so true. But you know, some hobbies are pretty universal. I mean, who doesn't enjoy watching movies, listening to music, or even just going for a walk?
That's so true. And listeners, we'd love to hear from you. What's your hobby? Share it with us in the comments or tell a friend about it. Talking about your hobby is a great way to practice English.
Absolutely. And speaking of practice, Marco will join us in just a bit to explain some key vocabulary from today's episode. But first, let's talk about why hobbies are so important.
So why do you think hobbies matter so much, Dave?
I think hobbies help us relax and recharge. Life can be stressful, and having something fun to focus on, whether it's reading, gardening, or even cooking, gives your mind a break.
That's so true. And hobbies aren't just fun, they're also great for your health. They can reduce stress, improve your mood, and even make you more creative.
Exactly. And some hobbies, like learning a musical instrument or solving puzzles, can even keep your brain sharp.
So, listeners, if you've been feeling stressed or bored lately, maybe it's time to explore a new hobby. It could be the best decision you make this week.
And don't forget, you can use your hobbies to connect with others. For example, joining a book club, a sports team, or even a cooking class is a great way to meet people and practice English.
Oh, I love that idea. Hobbies really are a win-win.
All right, it's time for Marco to break down some of the key vocabulary we've been using today. Marco, over to you.
It's vocabulary time with Marco.
Thanks, Dave. All right, listeners, let's take a closer look at some of the key words and phrases from today's conversation. These will help you talk about hobbies with confidence. Hobby. This is something you do for fun or relaxation. For example, gardening is a relaxing hobby for Dave. Bookworm. A person who loves reading. If you love books like Sophia, you might be a bookworm too. Black thumb. This phrase is the opposite of a green thumb. It means you're not very good at gardening. Universal. Something that everyone can enjoy or relate to. Dave said hobbies like listening to music are universal. Introvert and extrovert. Introverts enjoy quiet activities like reading, while extroverts love social activities like dancing or team sports. These words are not only useful for talking about hobbies, but also great for describing yourself and others. Try using them in your next English conversation. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Marco, for breaking down those keywords and phrases. It's always so helpful. And thank you, listeners, for spending your time with us on this episode of the English Everyday Podcast. We're so glad you're here and hope you had as much fun listening as we did.
We really hope today's conversation inspired you to think about your hobbies in a new way. Maybe you're ready to explore a new hobby or dive deeper into one you already enjoy.
Remember, hobbies aren't just fun. They're also amazing for your mental and emotional well-being. They help you relax, express yourself, and even connect with others.
If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love for you to give it a like and share it with someone who's learning English or looking for some inspiration. And don't forget to explore our other episodes. They're packed with tips, conversations, and more ways to help you practice English every day.
And here's the most important takeaway. Keep practicing your English. Whether it's talking about your hobbies, watching shows, or listening to podcasts like this one, every little bit helps you get better. Until next time, take care and stay curious.
We'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to grab the free PDF in the description. Bye, everyone.